Hey, and what is up, movie viewers? Dena Views and Reviews here, asking what you watching. Well, today I am watching Alone, Frozen Before the Freeze series. It is a Dena Views and Reviews recommendation. Alone is on my list of preferred shows that I actually enjoy binging on. For any of you that may not be familiar with the synopsis of it, Alone is a competitive reality wilderness survivor series, and it focuses on surviving completely on your own using your personal skills outside in the wilderness. Again, you're alone by yourself. Now, although they do have some episodes where they allow survivalists to partner with relatives or friends, and there is even one where there are groups of people in competition with other groups of people to survive in the wilderness. In all cases, though, the reward is a very large sum of money. I would assume that to participate in such a show, that you would have to have some basic requirements. Each survivalist must meet some basic qualifications to even be chosen to be a participant in such an extreme environment. Alone does give a view of the participants' background, what they do in their normal lives behind the scene, their interactions. There's a teensy glimpse of their personal life, what they do at home in their home environment, what they do for a living, and them talking about their goals and often showing some of their skills and explaining why they believe that they themselves can survive using their survival skills, their training, their mental and physical aptitude to win. Now, Alone drops each person in their different locations. They're, like I say, it's some weird, faraway place, and they leave them there alone. That individual must do everything it takes to survive, either by being the last one to leave in order to win, or having completed the set number of days to be included in getting any of the prize money, as in this case and point that I am referring to. A necessary part of survival for these participants means building their own shelter, hunting for their own food, and finding fresh water. If you are expecting to consume any water, you will have to find and locate it yourself, all while filming your own adventure because there is no camera crew that is provided. They drop you off and they're out of there. And they have to be sure to avoid being eaten by the wild animals that are native to whatever habitat that they drop you in. So these people are not even provided basic food, water, or wood, or any modern equipment to help them achieve the task of providing for their needs. So it is up to them to find and cut their own wood, to build a fire, use that wood for cooking, and that includes wood or anything that is needed for building themselves a shelter. This is very interesting to me. But did I mention again that they must know how to hunt and set their own traps to find food? And that is where having knowledge about what plants grow in the wilderness are edible, as well as which ones are not, and that may be harmful to consume, is very important, because I have seen shows where people misidentified plants and they actually had to tap out because they got sick from eating certain plants and wild animals. Now, my favorite part, as I said, is observing the participants constructing their own shelter, especially since there is no one else there to assist them in completing this task. But they need to do this in order to survive. And the wild animals seem to come as soon as it turns dark to try and have them for dinner. So I am always petrified that one of these people will be attacked or eaten at some point, especially when they're in their shelter sleep and the camera shows bears, coyotes, leopards, panthers, or other wild animals that may be sniffing around their shelter at night while they are inside the shelter attempting to rest. How can you rest like that? And then again, how are they getting that footage? I don't know if they have like a hunter's cam or something they put up, because they do have some that are automatic. But that's something to think about. Maybe it's the cameras um, that they put around the perimeter. But I'm always wondering who's filming that. I don't know, because again, there is no film crew there. At least that's what they're telling us. Now, a weekly wellness check is done for all of the contestants, where the staff comes out and actually checks them to confirm that they are good to carry on, because sometimes these people lose a drastic amount of weight because they cannot find food, but they'll still want to stay so they can try to get that money. They're also given a radio, a flare, just in case they need to tap out or they need some medical assistance right away, which is a very good idea. But when that happens, a team is dispatched and they come and pick that person up. Now, they are not allowed to have or bring guns to defend themselves from the wild animals. So they usually have like a bow and arrow and a string for fishing. And I notice they always have a tarp um, and some type of knife or something, but they aren't given very much to survive on. I think they are normally allowed to bring three basic things to assist them. For this particular Frozen episode, I think they did an exception, and on this one, they allowed them to bring 10 things, if I'm not mistaken. But in my case, my personal three things I would have to bring if I were to ever come on that show, and that is a huge air conditioned or heated RV that includes a fully stocked fridge. Then I would need internet and phone, and I need fresh, clean water. I can tell you right now, if Alone offered all of this, I could actually stay for up to a year and win $10 million. I bet you I could. Otherwise, it is a firm no for me. I'll just enjoy observing them from my television. But they really should consider doing a show where people actually live in an RV for 100 days. This is one with all the amenities, of course. And I'm sure I can win that. Like I said, the scenario is that the survivalist manages to stay the longest time, that person wins the jackpot. However, in this particular case, the show that they like is a spin-off of the original series. Along, the participants were chosen from previous season. That means they were on the shows that were done earlier. So 6 people were chosen to try and live 50 days in the wilderness on this North Atlantic coast of Labrador, Canada. Like I said, usually they're given a chance to prepare for winter, but in this case, winter was just arriving. And so was the potential for each of them to be eaten by polar bears, who we know have no natural enemy besides humans with guns. These are some ferocious, absolutely humongous creatures if you ever see them in person. Oh my God, they are intimidating. And they won't hesitate to eat humans. Now, the 6 previous survivalists that were chosen was Greg Ovens from season 3, Callie Russell, season 7, Mark D'Ambrosia from season 7, I think it's Amos Rodriguez, season 7, Wanaya Thebold from season 7, and Michelle Finn from season 8. Now, they are each individually dropped in several different spots where they can begin to attempt this 50-day survivor pursuit in hopes of winning a portion of the $500,000. But only one of them ends up being successful, and that person actually won the entire $500,000. And not only that, they made history for the show. Now, on the previous season of Alone, there was a $1 million jackpot for anyone who could last 100 days. And one guy actually won, and I was really cheering for this female contestant. She was awesome. I just knew she was going to make it, but I think she got frostbite on her toes and she had to go. But Alone is full of surprises and twists and turns, and it always tickles me because it seems the guy that's talking all the junk about how strong he is, how smart he is, and how much skill he has. He's always the guy that seems to leave first. I can recall one guy only stayed there. He stayed less than 24 hours after finding out there was some bear scat where he had been dropped off. He was really afraid and it showed. He called them almost immediately, like, come back and get me. But then there was this one guy who killed I think it was a buffalo, and he was trying to um, preserve it so that he could have it later, so that he could eat off of it his time there. Unfortunately, there were some animals that also, some predators were trying to eat off it too. And that is difficult when you don't have a real weapon to protect yourself and your food source. Even um, it's so addictive. It is interesting. It can also be a bit educational about how to, maybe you can learn things on how to survive if you are ever in such conditions. So I would recommend checking out Alone Frozen, where they are on the coast of Labrador, Canada. Now, Alone Frozen is rated TV PG. And if you would like to check out Alone Frozen, you certainly can, because it is now playing on the History Channel. It is playing on Hulu, National Geographic, and even Disney Channel. Thank you for watching, and I want you to remember, it's my view. Now, what you watching?